Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to the podcast, and thanks to our sponsor, SS96. Still rocking with us in 2022, and it's so amazing. We appreciate you. SS96 is putting out new merch and still has some of your favorites. Get your Xzequtive Productions t-shirts, Swish Masters t-shirts, as well as Farm Raised Entertainment t-shirts. Don't forget to check out Straight Stoner's music, as well as my own release under Xzequtive Productions. It's available on all streaming platforms, and new music is in the works, so stay tuned. Go to ss96.net and use the promo code Swish Masters to get this kind of merch today. Thank you all again. We're grateful.
What's up?
What's happening? Welcome in to the Swish Masters Podcast, live edition, live here in the flesh. I'm your co-host, Zay, the executive producer.
I'm your co-host, QtheGuru. Zay. Last time we talked, we were just talking about the play-in, man. And now we're talking about the playoffs. The playoffs has been really good so far, man. I know we made predictions last week. You know, we'll be talking about each round so far in the East and the West. We know there's a game going on right now. Thank y'all for tuning in. Join us during halftime. Have the game on in the background while we talk hoops. Right? Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Heart of the playoffs right now. A lot of teams are in maybe third, fourth, getting ready, to go into the next game. This is money time, man. What are you thinking so far, man? I know we talked about our predictions and stuff, but it's been interesting so far, to say the least.
Yeah, man. It has been very, very interesting so far. I'm going to save a lot of my thoughts for when we get into these different rounds and these different games, man, but yeah, the playoffs have been very exciting. Remember, we were watching the playoffs without LeBron for like the first time in so many years, Actually about like when he first joined the Lakers, he didn't make it. But still, it's weird watching the playoffs without LeBron James.
It is.
So.
It is, yeah.
Man, it's definitely weird. But y'all stay tuned. We're going to get into all that. First, we're going to start with the Warriors and the Nuggets, man. I'm gonna get started with them. Yeah, okay. So all right, y'all, stay tuned and watch these highlights real quick.
Poole, the Euro, counted!
All his hard work is paying off. Without him, we would not be where we're at. So, Dub Nation, we should be very grateful for George's development and the type of player he's become, because what a star in the making.
Poole takes it right side, drives on Cousins, stops, backs up to the corner, shoots a fadeaway. Heat check three! Get the suntan oil. We're having a pool party.
There's a new Splash Brother, and his last name is Poole.
It's a scary sight when we really get going. I mean, this is really our first time really playing together.
Jordan Poole goes for 30 and 29 in his first two playoff games.
It's incredible because it's not just a guy ascending, getting better, which would be impressive all on its own, but you're talking about doing that in an environment surrounded by future Hall of Famers.
I'm good.
As much as I'm sure that has helped him,
that's good D.
It also limits opportunity, you would think, but he's bust through all that and become a guy who is as important as anybody on this team.
You're going to game plan for Steph, you're going to game plan for Clay, but now you got a game plan for Jordan, and that's a different beast.
I have the utmost faith and confidence every time I go out there to play, whether it's 30 points, whether it's 12 assists or 6 charges, and try to help our team win as best as we can.
Poole off a screen, takes a three, it's up and good!
He's been watching Steph a lot, and He's doing his best impression, and it is incredible.
Teams are going through scenarios where you're trying to decide who you're going to come off of. So, again, we just have to keep things simple, be decisive, play with confidence in each other.
Draymond throws it back out to midcourt to Poole. Takes a deep three. Got it!
JP's a part of that now, and he's demonstrated that he's ready for pretty much any moment.
Welcome to the party. Let's go.
Excited. Got the job done at the crib, man. We got a couple more to win. Here we go, fellas.
Poole has taken advantage of every minute he's gotten on the court, but again, yes, he's been flashy with his shots. Yes, he's made some unbelievable, dazzling passes. He has been well-rounded. The Warriors have just stepped into Steph Curry 2.0 with Jordan Poole, and oh, by the way, Steph Curry is only going to get healthier.
Wow. Poole with a head fake on Rivers that gets to the rim and scores with the inside hand.
We are seeing a young man absolutely grow into being a star in this league, in this system.
It feels like the Warriors are back. They put on a show the first two games.
Here comes Bielitsa. Clay waits for the screen. Off the screen, takes the jumper. Over Boogie, it's a three.
Only 11 minutes that new death lineup has played, and they've outscored the Nuggets 47-18 over those 11 minutes. Crazy part about it is it's just such a small sample size.
Got the loose ball. Curry catches up with it. Rivers down there with the push. Count it. Foul!
This feels like that energy and hype that we used to get from the Warriors is fully back.
Great offensive hustle and rebound, Wiggins. Here comes Poole. Baseline drives, contorts, floats, and got the ball in. What a play by Poole. That is all she wrote in the Rockies tonight. The Golden State Warriors are going to go up 3-0. Amazing numbers from the backcourt. Klay Thompson, 26 points. Jordan Poole, 27. Stephen Curry, 27. And the efficiency from all three of them was off the charts.
Man, I'm just excited to be here. Just trying to be ready for the moment, man. Got a lot of great vets. A lot of experience, man, just trying to learn as much as I can and continue to keep winning games.
Man. Bro. I don't know how I feel right now, man. I don't know how I feel.
You picked Golden State for this one, right?
No, I did. No, I picked a sweep. But listen, this is why I'm scared, bro.
Tell me more about it.
All right. So I thought the dynasty. So you know they only won like 2 in a row, but still, the fact that Jordan Poole is this way already in his young career. I mean, y'all, Steph is coming off the bench.
He came off the bench for the first game. I thought he came off the bench for every game so far.
This man is coming off the bench, and they still doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Jordan Poole, man.
Man, this is crazy.
His development over the past really 2 years is insane. He went from being just a random young Warriors player to being probably their second, third option next to Curry. And he can create his own shot with the best of them right now. He looks amazing. Golden State looks pretty scary, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say they're favorites, but they look pretty scary. It's scary hours right now, and like the clip says, Steph is only gonna get healthier. Klay is still returning to form. So it's danger time, danger zone for the West right now. The Warriors and how Jordan Poole has just been phenomenal.
Yo, it's scary out here, man. I am. I don't know, man. Y'all, come on, man. This isn't fair, man. This ain't fair. And think about it. They don't even have all the pieces back yet. Wiseman still out, still hurt. Imagine if he comes back like he just being that top pick type of player, man. And yo, I don't know, man. These Warriors are about to get another dynasty out here. But anyway, the question is this, man. Golden State beat the Denver Nuggets again, right?
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, the Warriors are 3-0. Remember, I predicted a sweep anyway, so I'm good. I'm good with my thing. But, you know, you, sir.
I mean,
you're the one that was like, hey.
I feel that we concluded in giving Jokic 1 and giving the Joker 1. I feel like that may have been the case, but to your point.
Sweet. I remember I went with you on another game. I don't know. Maybe
I think so. I thought it was this one, but maybe it was another one. But
maybe it was another one.
Regardless, sweep or not, this series is over for sure.
So you agree that the series is over?
Oh, it's 3-0. Like, yes.
Jokic can't power up and give you 1.
Jokic is not enough alone to defeat this Warriors monster that's rising. And like you said, this is them not even at full strength. Steph is still recovering, getting stronger every day, getting healthier every day. Klay still trying to figure out his rhythm, and he's looked pretty good still. Then you add in the other variables like an Iguodala and Wiggins, Wiseman, who is hurt, but once they get him back, another great big to have in their lineup. Toscano, Anderson, like they have some depth now, and they're big. Really, they have I don't know, it's maybe wrong to say, but a big 4 when you consider like what Draymond is to them, and then you add the Splash Brothers plus, well, now Pool Party Jordan here. They are lethal, and I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough, regardless of who they face next. It's gonna be a tough matchup for sure. But I'm loving to see this development from Jordan Poole and just the confidence that he's playing with. That layup he did when he went under the rim, just spent it in, reminded me of something I used to do. I wish I still could do that, but he looks great, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him so far. It's been dope to see just him work on his game, and he's staying humble, still saying like he's trying to learn from these greats. And I love to see that. He just is hooping.
Yeah, man, he's hooping. He's hooping, bro. And I don't know who came up with this nugget, but like the fact you got the Splash Brothers, and you got another dude last name Poole. It just seems like this, man. I can't remember the reporter's name, but that dude's name that came up with that. Or no, how were we all missing this as NBA fans, man? We should be saying to ourselves, man. Jordan Poole, man. And you know what? I remember we talked about most improved as well.
Yeah.
But I think we did mention Jordan Poole, but now if I could vote, if I could have this whole conversation again, definitely Jordan Poole.
Man. Yeah. He was already playing really good during the regular season, so I saw the improvement. But to elevate this way in the playoffs is more than just the most improved, in my opinion. This is, if he keeps this up and he, helps them go on this deep run in the playoffs, then we're going to be talking about him not as a most improved player, but a potential star in the league, because I think he for the regular season was a 6-man. So if whether he's coming off the bench starting, he's getting it done. And to be playing at this level at this point in the season is star stud type of material. So I'm happy to just see him go out there and ball. And he's gonna get I hope he gets a big contract coming up.
Yeah. But yeah. All right, this series is over, y'all.
It's over.
We can't really talk too much about
It's over. It's over.
This is over. This series.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Joker. He just doesn't have enough, man. He doesn't have Murray. He doesn't have Porter, Aaron Gordon. I mean, like, they don't have enough, and I don't really think that Denver is really a good defensive team either, like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, this is too much to overcome. It's just too much. Joker can't do it by himself.
He can't.
I'm sorry, Nuggets fans. It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Go ahead and pack your boat. You're going fishing. Well, y'all going mountain hiking or, stuff in Colorado.
All right. So let's stay on the topic of the Nuggets real quick. So there's a lot of rumors out there that Jokic is going to be the MVP this year. I mean, no matter where you hear it from, no matter where you hear it, it could be ESPN, it could be Fox, it could be anywhere, man. They're all saying how Jokic is going to be the MVP. So, like, my question is this, man. Like, seeing how he's performing in the playoffs right now, does that not affect how we see him?
The MVP is a difficult, but more so of a regular season award. And looking at his regular season stats, they're great. But it just hurts to see him in the playoff struggle or, on the verge of getting swept. And I don't think that should change his MVP status, or he shouldn't be considered at all, but it just says a lot when you get, you get nominated and voted as a finalist for MVP, but once you get to the playoffs, you can't win a game. It just rubs you the wrong way, I think. And I personally, if I had a vote, I wouldn't have voted for Jokic this year. But I think he's great, and I think he should always be in consideration. But I hope that not that he doesn't deserve it, but I don't think he should be MVP for this year. Because I think still, to me, in the regular season, Joel Embiid had a better MVP caliber season, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Gotcha. I feel like if you're the MVP, you should at least get one in the playoffs. At least one. I mean, win at least one. You should not get swept. Like, for example, I'll go back to I'll use Westbrook as an example. Back in like 2017, everyone knows the Thunder weren't going anywhere. This is after KD left, but West had a spectacular season.
Absolutely,
one of the best seasons ever seen by a guard. But in the playoffs, we knew the Thunder weren't going to go very far. But despite all that, at least he won some games, and at least those games were close at the end. The Nuggets with this, blowouts. At least remain competitive, and they even lost. They always lose leads as well in the first quarter. It's like, as MVP, I feel like you should be able to get at least one, or at least not lead to so many blowouts like this, because this is something else.
I agree with you for the most part that when you are this type of player that's getting MVP recognition, yeah, you expect them to be able to, go out there and get you one, as they would say.
Right.
Regular season, in the playoffs, get you one. You know what I mean? Like, I can give you the ball and you'll make something happen and take us to the finish line. But this hasn't been the case. And to be fair, it's still, like, based on regular season. So while I agree, yeah, I think if you're an MVP caliber player, you should be able to go out there and get a win for your team, one, and not get swept. But if he is, being considered, you can't really. It's kind of weird to, like, if you're factoring in the playoffs, because other awards are, starting to be given out, and it's, earlier in the first round. But with the MVP, it's kind of it's a prestigious award, right?
Right.
It's just kind of like, what are you considering? Because he might, and I'm sure I haven't really checked his stat lines from these games because just haven't been able to catch that West Coast time. But still, with his performance, you want to win. But I'm sure he's got the stats to show that he's doing what he could. But it seemed like it wasn't MVP like in this series, at least. Golden State was just too powerful.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Jokic was the last person I thought would be MVP. Like, I would have been happy if it was like Joel Embiid or Giannis. And again, this isn't like done. They haven't announced the winner. But as people have voted, all these media voters, they reveal who they voted for. And it seems like a lot of them have been picking Jokic. So, I mean,
yeah.
I know he's without his team, and that's a whole lot of reason why he could be the MVP, because he's doing so much with so little. No Michael Porter Jr., no Jamal Murray. So, but still, at least be a little bit more competitive. And I will say this though: difference between the Warriors and the team that Westbrook faced, I believe he faced the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
The Warriors were like championship. This team right here is like another level from like what the Rockets were, and Russell faced them. Like, they were contenders, but these Warriors are like almost like finals favorites right here.
This is a different tier,
right?
When you're talking about when you talk about these two teams, just different tiers completely.
Yeah.
And the Warriors have been there. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about a experienced championship winning Steph Curry and Draymond and Klay versus, Jokic, who's, an MVP. But who else does he have that's had the type of playoff experience, really?
All right.
Deep runs in the playoffs and competing for championships. He hasn't really been at that level. So it's hard to say that, he had a chance here. But
right.
I like him. I like him, but it's just gonna be kind of weird to me if he wins MVP still.
Yeah.
But the media likes what they like. Is what it is.
They do. I guess we have to have a conversation about the media next, because I'm like, how did y'all do this?
Right. I don't know, man. But if he wins it, hey, shout out to him. I'm not gonna say he doesn't deserve it. He's a monster. He doesn't, wow you with his athleticism, but he's got skill.
He's got skill. So let's stick with the West. Let's talk about. There's a game that happened previously today. So Luka came back.
Luka the Don. Yep.
Yep. He came back. And y'all, at the time of this streaming, we had this was prepared because the fact that Jalen Brunson went off on this team, on the Jazz, and they had a 2-game series lead over them, right? So I'm thinking, will the Jazz even win the game this series in the prep time for this podcast? But as you all know, the Jazz actually won today. So out of fairness to them, they won the game. We're going to remove this. Just to be fair to them. Because I was really thinking, Zay, like, they ain't winning the game as far as this is going. I'm like, you let Jalen Brunson go off. You're not right. Rudy Gobert can't guard no one on the perimeter. Like, they're just exposing that matchup constantly. And I am just, I said it before. This is the game that we agreed to. Thinking back now, we were like, okay, Luke was out. We'll give him one. We said the Mavs in 6 or something like that. Man, no, it can't be in 6 because I don't know. Anyway, whatever it was,
6 or 7. It was one of them.
I know we gave the Jazz one game.
At least.
But I didn't think they'll win the game when Luka was actually back.
Yeah.
If anything, it should have been the game against Jalen Brunson. but
would think.
Man, shout out to Jalen Brunson, man. This dude is going off. He's going off. He's showing out. Shout out to this dude. But the Jazz are just so disappointing. You caught more of the game than I did. So, based on what you saw, are you more encouraged with the Jazz?
No.
Still not, huh?
I'm gonna say they still have to show up because now they have to go back to Dallas. You know what I mean? And they tied the series up, so shout out to them for that. But as we've seen the past maybe 2 or 3 seasons with the Jazz, it's always a great regular season. You know, top tier of the West. If you know, maybe 1 through 4 or whatever. But get to the playoffs, Rudy Gobert gets exposed. Donovan Mitchell is carrying the team. Mike Conley doesn't show up. Bogdanovich may hit a shot, miss a shot. You know, it's just kind of, they're very hit and miss in the playoffs. And like you said, Jalen Brunson. Shout out to Jalen Brunson, just stepping up in their, you know, the captain's absence with Luka being out and balled out. You know what I mean? Like 40, 30, giving it to these guys. And, you know, just socking them in the mouth real quick. The Jazz have to play better defensively and they have to prove it to me that they can win, that they can be consistent. You know what I mean? Because thanks to some heroics down the stretch from Donovan Mitchell, they came away with the win, and Luka looked pretty good. I caught more of the game than you, but I didn't catch all of it. But Luka looked pretty good for, you know, coming off injury. And I think he's only going to get better, especially going back to Dallas. But Utah has a lot to prove, man. Do I think they can win? Yes. Will they? I can't say they're going to win one of the next 2 games. Respectfully. But it's disappointing because I like Donovan Mitchell. And Gobert has, you know, he's always a defensive player of the year candidate. He can protect the rim, but you get him in the right matchup, or sometimes he just gets poked on. And it's like, man, I just have no faith in them unless they change something structurally next year. Shout out to ownership, shout out to DOA, but coach, the team. Royce O'Neal plays hard, but he, they just don't have enough, man. I really want them to succeed, bro. I really do, but it's just hard to root for.
I mean, when I think of the Jazz, it's like I can't even be shocked because this is what I expect. I said in the beginning, they had to show me something, right? They gotta show me. Until they show me, I won't believe them. But it's just so disappointing still. Even though I knew this would happen.
QtheGuru.
It's still very disappointing, man. Almost to a point where it's disgusting too. Because this team has so much potential. They literally have almost all the pieces, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Coaching is good as well. But something is just off with that organization somewhere. Something is off. You have a young superstar in Donovan Mitchell. You have a defensive anchor in Rudy Gobert. You have key role players and floor spacers and playmakers. They should be making a deeper playoff run than they are. If they lose, which we both think they will, a first round series when this team was expected to go further, blow it up. Blow it up, man. Trade everybody. Trade Donovan. Cut anybody you don't want. Rebuild. Because this ain't working. It's not working.
Man, they have to do something for sure. I don't know if you trade Donovan because for sure I don't know if you can get somebody on that contract that at his level. I don't know.
Okay.
I would try to keep him and try to structure around him because I feel like he's their guy, their key. But
that's fine. That's fine. Like
I don't know. I don't think him and Gobert really like each other. I've heard multiple things about how, like with when COVID began, or not began, but when it was first being exposed in the NBA, and Rudy went up, touched the mic, and Donovan got sick, and I feel like I heard about the tension they had, and they were like back good, and then they were bad again, and then I saw like a stupid thing on Twitter about how many times per year Donovan passes Rudy the ball, and it was like less than 30 times. I'm like, so I started paying attention to every Utah game that I watched, and I'm like, I don't really see Donovan and Rudy in the pick and roll, and if they do, Donovan, I have yet to see him pass the ball to Gobert. I'm not gonna lie, like I have not seen Donovan Mitchell pass Rudy Gobert the ball in the pick and roll, lob, anything, and and now that made me think, like, do they get along? Because it just seems like it's something off with those two at least. So I think maybe get rid of Gobert or one of them, but
hey, if they're smart, get rid of Gobert first, because I ain't gonna lie. Watching these highlights again, bro, I'm just like, all this man can do. I mean, let me rephrase that, because I'm not an NBA player. These dudes do a lot. Let me rephrase that. He's a defensive player of the year candidate almost every year. He plays with your defense great, but offensively, sir, all I'm seeing in these highlights, and again, this is from the game from the other day. Lobs, rebound, putback, lob. It would be better if he had like some post moves, man, and some skill on the post. That would definitely help. this team. And he's been the same player offensively for years. But like a little post move, show me a little something, man. A little dream shake. Show me something. Like, come on, do something for me. And I bet that'll change the game a lot, man. And if he gets to a point he could pass out the post better, that would be great. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
that would be great if he could do that. But I don't think he can at this point in his career because it's kind of late. But I don't know. I don't know. It depends how many years. He's been in the league for a minute now.
It makes me think of something that Draymond Green said recently. Everyone isn't built for the playoffs. Every guy that you thought was a guy isn't a guy. It's Rudy Gobert. The problem I have with him, and on at least the offensive side, is that years ago, I don't know if you remember this, but he was like complaining about not getting touches and crying, that he didn't make All-Star or whatever. He didn't get selected.
All-Star, yep.
And it's like, I get it. Everyone feels, left out at some point. And it's hard because you have a league with so much talent. But at the same time, he literally physically cried, which already was like, oh, you're going to be a meme. And then two, he improved his offensive game over the years. I think he's increased his scoring average. But like you said, he still doesn't have his offensive game is very limited when it comes to, can you go get a bucket? I don't think so. I don't think I would give the ball to Rudy Gobert down low and say, here you go. Give me a bucket. Give me a couple of possessions. Give Donovan some time off and provide some scoring. He doesn't have. If he does, I haven't seen it, but I haven't seen a jump shot, and not that he needs to shoot threes, because everyone wants to shoot threes, and that's another thing we got to talk about, because mid range is I don't know, seem to be more foreign, but that's another topic. But if he just had a short corner jump shot, something. Be a lob threat. You're 7 foot, whatever, fair. But yeah, it's kind of hard when it comes to Gobert, man. I'm not sold on him, and I would try to shop him. I'm sure he can, help somebody in the right situation. But Utah and him and how the team's constructed as current is not really the move for them, in my opinion.
Man, let me say this. Just the fact that you don't feel confident to give something to him in the post so he can do something. I mean, even Steven Adams can do a little something in the post. At least Rudy Gobert can do it. Come on. And,
a jump hook.
I think Rudy Gobert is a better defender than Steven Adams. Dang you, Rudy. we just want the team to get a lot better, man. We're just trying to think about ways they can. And Rudy's not going to get better, at least offensively. And if in the series, it's a bad matchup. So if you can't, something got to give. Something's got to give, man. And
it's no disrespect to him, because, like you said, we're not NBA players. But still, it's when you're playing at this level, and we see all the other guys and see what they're doing, and you're gonna get compared to these other dudes. So I would want to improve in that area, but it seems like it's just not a good fit. At least I'll just put it that way. So
yeah, it's definitely not a good fit. Definitely not.
But yeah, the Jazz have a long way to go in proving that they, are elite when it comes to NBA playoff basketball.
I still say blow it up. Blow it all up. Blow it up. Front office, fire. Get them all out of there. Get them all out. GM gone. Because apparently you put the roster together straight for some reason. Coach gone. I like Quinn Snyder. But be gone, sir. Assistant coaches, everybody, redo the whole thing. Because this is not working right, sir. D-Wade, love you. You probably gotta quit, man. Something's going on. Go to the Heat. I'm sure they love you, man. Be a part-time owner with the minority owner with the Heat. Don't Jazz everything in Jazz. Start over. You need some new soul, man. You need some new soul,
man.
So come on.
I have a question. Do you think that Utah is big on like jazz music?
I don't know.
I know that they bought the franchise, but it's just like, why? Why is it the Utah Jazz? I don't know I've never been to Utah, and
good point.
It's just funny. Like some of these team names, like Utah Jazz. I've never heard of like a big jazz artist coming out of Utah.
Just supposed to be like they play jazzy. Like it's supposed to be so good looking and so spectacular, but not this team. No,
like when Stockton and Malone were there.
Right. Maybe that was jazzy, but
that was a great pick and roll.
Yeah. This team right here. It's not jazzy.
In the regular season, they have their moments.
Okay.
But playoffs it gets a little bit difficult, man.
Man, Kendrick Perkins said this is a regular season team.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with him. This is a regular season team.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. If they win, if they can get a win in the next two games, I'll give them a little bit of a prop, but
no,
I don't see them winning the series.
No, because unlike the other series, this is kind of based on roster and talent. This should be evenly matched, kind of. So, like, if you think about it, because it's not like the Mavs have. Well, I don't know, Jalen Brunson. I mean, he's almost like another superstar now. How he's playing, but the only superstar, they only have one superstar you've seen. Luka and Donovan. Yeah, appropriate role players to fill out the rosters. Coaching. This is Jason Kidd's first year with this team. And Quinn Snyder, I have more hopes that I think he'll know his team more. But it looks like Jason Kidd has more experience exposing these matchups. If Jason goes small, you need to do something, Quinn Snyder. Either expose them being small, or you gotta adjust yourself and go small ball. Take Rudy out. Especially if this team's getting the rebound still. It's come on, man.
A lot of questions that need answers from the Utah Jazz.
But honestly, do you feel like they can win one out of these next two games?
Out of respect for Donovan Mitchell, I'm gonna say if
he already got you one today, so I'm good with Donovan.
Go back to Utah. I'll say he can get you one, maybe, but
so you think
very much on the I'm more like 40% Donovan power, but 60% I'm saying like, okay, they will botch this somehow.
So I'll say this: if they get to Game 7, it'll be more respectable. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, if you lose and only have one win, I mean, it's the series style 2-2, right?
Yep.
2-2. So it's not a gentleman's sweep anymore either. So they gotta at least get one more. At least give me one more, man. If they can make this Game 7, that'd be great.
But
I'll be very impressed.
Yeah, it's It's going to be interesting, but we'll see. They beat the 5-game prediction, so maybe they can keep up.
They did. But I was sure thinking that Luka being back will handle the business, but no. But like you said, he was looking good, so that's a good sign. So, and Jalen was still playing great.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the Mavs. I really do. Yeah. Yeah, I really do. Let's we're still in the West, y'all. Let's talk about this other team real quick. Let's talk about the Suns. Unfortunately, Devin Booker suffered a hamstring injury. Seems like he'll be out. He still was out for Game 3. He still may be out for Game 4 as well. But despite him being out, Phoenix still showed up.
Yeah.
And now they lead the series 2-1. So, I guess question number 1 is, do you think Phoenix can survive the series without Devin Booker? That's question number 1. And then number 2, we'll get into the Pelicans and what can they do to get back into the series.
I think that Phoenix advances without Booker. I don't think he's going to be back for this series at least. The hamstring is a tricky injury from what I've been told. I've seen, CP3 has dealt with hamstring, James Harden, just, recent players that I know. But I think that they have enough, more than enough, to be able to beat New Orleans in this series. But I will say that New Orleans has just been fighting. They've played hard, and you can't deny B.I. and CJ. That duo has been great. But in this past game, CP3 just took over in the 4th. And I think that's the big difference, is that they have the point guard. He just, down the stretch, both of these teams, when you look outside of CP, they're pretty young for the most part, average age. And, they're getting up the court pretty fast. But CP3 was just like that, slow it down, calming presence. I'm going to take us, over the hump in the pick and roll, just get into his spots. And, it's not like we haven't seen this before from him, but he just knows how to, for lack of better words, manipulate the game.
Yeah.
He knows how to just find his spots and put his guys in the right position every single time. Like DeAndre Ayton played great. He looked good in pick and roll. And also, I've been looking at his game. I'm like, man, this dude looks like Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing type of, big that can hit you with some post move, turnaround, over the shoulder jump shot. He looks really good. So I think, to answer that question, yeah, Phoenix will be fine. And I forgot the second one.
So the next question was, what can the Pelicans do to get back to the series? But let me answer Devin Booker first.
Yeah.
So, this is what I feel. I think they definitely can get by without Devin. I think, and that's what they showed you, that they can do it. So that's no issue there. And the Pelicans are a team where they're still young and growing. This is their first time back in the playoffs since AD. So this is a win for them either way. I think Phoenix is talented enough and well equipped to still survive the series. And now the other question is this, though. What can the Pelicans do to get back into the series, though? Devin Booker's out. Is there anything you can do to get back into the series and make it competitive? Because right now it's looking like it's probably going to be a gentleman's sweep, in my opinion. But is there anything the Pelicans can do to get back?
I think I don't think they have an answer for CP3 besides hoping that he has a bad game. The best thing for them to do, in my opinion, is to try to eliminate DeAndre Ayton, JaVale McGee. The big men have been a key difference maker when it comes to, New Orleans being able to get inside shots as well as just stopping those guys. Like JaVale McGee came off the bench and I think he had like 13, 15 points. And he was pretty high field goal percentage. So I think that's what they really need to focus on, is just trying to like shut the inside down. And also like another factor that was in that last game, Jackson Hayes got ejected.
Yeah.
So they lost a big as well.
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
But I think they need to, if they can eliminate the big guys for Phoenix, and then take advantage with BI. He's long. He's, to me, like KD. Like I'm not sure his exact height, but like 7 foot-ish. And then you have Valanciunas down low, who's pretty solid in the post. Jackson Hayes, lob threat, athletic 4/5. They just need to take advantage and get those big guys out of the way. If they can do that, they have a better chance. And just try to keep, CP3 limited. That's my best bet for them.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you can somehow, well, I would say this too. Since Devin Booker is out, you should only have to focus on CP3 now. And like you just said, he's just a master in this game right now, man. People call him the point guard for a reason. If you can somehow limit Chris Paul, if you can, this dude's basketball IQ is so up there, he'll probably figure it out and pick you apart anyway. But to try to throw different looks at him, try to somehow throw him off. I wouldn't just lazily send a double team. Can't do that, because he'll definitely pick you apart. Come up with some way to try to limit Chris Paul. And if you can limit Chris Paul and limit the playmaking, cause some turnovers, you got a chance. It's easier said than done, though, because right now I can't think of a certain scheme to really complete that right now. Because Chris Paul has been in the game for so long. He's probably seen almost every type of defense. And he's an above average playmaker. He's like one of the best playmakers in the game right now at his age. Yeah. So, as long as CP stays healthy throughout the rest of the series, it's hard. There's not much you can do if you're the Pelicans. Because Brandon and CJ went off, but they still lost. I think they both had like a 30 piece. Yeah. But still lost. So it's like, you can't really ask no more of that. The only hope for the Pelicans is for Zion Williamson to return. That's the only hope. That's your only hope, Pelicans. Zion Williamson to the rescue. He's been on the sidelines. He's been getting healthier. He's doing dunk videos and 360s. He is ready for the playoffs. Let him come back. Bully everybody. Dunk on everybody. That's the only hope for the Pelicans.
You got Gumbo upset. He's jumping on me currently because you said Zion, and because we know Zion does not want to play basketball this year. I'm just saying it that way. Zion does not want to play basketball this year. And even if Zion came back, I don't think it would make a difference for them. But the fact is, it's a weird situation in New Orleans with Zion. I've seen him in his, heard he's doing 5-on-5 with certain staff members and inactive teammates and stuff, but it's not gonna be Even if Zion came back, it wouldn't be enough to stop the Suns. Even with Booker injured, I don't see it. He hasn't played all year.
I know he hasn't. He hasn't. But sir, he is the number 1 overall picks. If he does come back, he can. If he do you a little something, he'll come off the bench, give you some certain amount of minutes, play 15 minutes a game. His presence will be enough on the defensive side and the offensive side to help uplift the Pelicans a little bit. I'm just answering the question. I said, is there anything that the Pelicans can do? And the only thing they can do, like I said, Zion come back. Because otherwise, they don't really have a chance. Unless you figure out some scheme to slow down Chris Paul. I don't see anything. So, Zion is your only hope, New Orleans.
Zion Williamson, you're my only hope.
He's your only hope right now.
He's Obi-Wan to the Pelicans,
basically.
Oh,
but I agree with you though. I'm not gonna say here just. I believe Zion wants to leave too. I mean, we talked about that before.
For the record, I didn't say he wanted to leave because at this point, I'm just confused on what he wants.
I think he wants to leave.
I know he doesn't want to play basketball in the NBA this year. I can say that for sure. But does he want to play for the Pelicans? I don't know. Because at one point, it was the report that he was away from the team completely. We talked about that, him being in Portland. Mm-hmm. And then CJ got traded. He didn't talk to him for, I don't know.
So CJ had to mention something first.
First few games of, CJ being there, nothing. And then he returns to the team and he's doing his, everyone recovers differently and, takes their time. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with what he's doing, but I just don't understand the intent. I don't know if he's just sitting out and, taking his time, getting recovered, which I hope he does, and, comes back and has less or fewer injury problems. But also, I don't know if he's going to be part of the Pelicans or not next year or whatever happens. So it's kind of hard to say what his intent is, but I just know he's not playing basketball.
I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know, man, but it would be great to see Zion playing basketball. That's all I'm going to say at some point. I just want to see him play again.
Yeah, me too. I want him to see him play and be healthy.
And excel.
Yeah.
He was an all-star, man. He was an all-star. So we know he has the capability. It's just staying on the floor.
I just need him now to play more games than he missed. Yes. Now. I need him to get back over that threshold because right now he's missed more games than played. Now I just need you to get back over that threshold, play more games than he missed.
Man, poor city of New Orleans, man. Like every time they got AD, great, up, injured. All right, misses 80 games. Okay, here's Zion, great, plays, gets injured, up, missed the whole season. All right, it's like dang, that can't catch a break, man. Shout out to New Orleans, but
hey, man. The New Orleans are resilient. The one thing is they've been through this before, so I think they know how to spot it and react to it. I would say that, and again, David Griffin. He's probably got I don't know. I like the trade. I like the trade for CJ. It looks like it's turned out pretty good. Love that pickup. CJ's balling out in New Orleans.
Absolutely.
I don't know, but if Zion does come back, I feel like there's potential there. I just wish now they kept Lonzo.
That man, I wish
that's the one that's still kind of tricky to me. Can you imagine Lonzo with this team right here? They'll still be really good. Like, if Zion comes back fully healthy, I would see this team as like at least a playoff contender.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they made the playoffs this year.
They did, but they're not going to go past the first round. I think everybody predicted that. But I'm talking about if they had that team, I would have been predicting like, they could probably make a little run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, you know, I still love the coach. I love the coach as well. It just...
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Willie Green, man.
Willie Green, man.
Inspirational, man. I love just the energy that he coaches with.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, he's a great coach. Great pickup as a coach. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, good luck, Pelicans. I'm not sure what you can do. I really don't know. Good luck. We'll be watching. For sure. All right. We will talk about one of the last series in the West. It's been definitely been very entertaining, to say the least. Let's check out this highlight.
Tremendous resolve shown in this terrific turnaround. After being down by as many as 26.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Playoff basketball is back in Minneapolis. For these Timberwolves fans, they've been waiting for this. They've been starving for playoff basketball.
This is a good basketball town. This is the first young, exciting, fun team to make the playoffs since Stephon Marbury and Kevin Garnett were playing together.
19,000 people in Target Center tonight. That's the most that we've had in here since 2004, the Western Conference Final, so it means a lot to everybody.
The energy offensively is here early for Minnesota. Minnesota pouring it on.
What an answer to Tuesday's 28-point loss.
Let's go. Come on. Just stay locked in. Stay together.
Edwards swatted. A volleyball spike from Ja Morant. The Timberwolves feel such a large cushion. They have never trailed.
Just play basketball. Get the ball moving. Drive and kick. Don't settle. First action's out there. Drive with force. Okay? Got a great look at the rim. They blocked your shot, but everything's got to be with force and pace. Get that ball moving, all right?
Memphis fights back. The Grizzlies have been relentless.
Way to stay locked, eh? Way to stay locked.
Memphis has exploded on a 24-2 run. Yes, sir! A three!
Put three on the board. It's knotted up at 83 apiece.
Come on, we got to finish.
It's every Wolves fan's worst nightmare. Having a game of this magnitude, having a lead of that size, and you blow it.
Incredible comeback by the Memphis Grizzlies. They have outscored the Timberwolves 35-9. And this Minnesota crowd is stunned.
Hey, way to hoop, dog. Way to hoop, boy. Yeah.
Just told him to keep staying the course. A lot of basketball left. Just chipping away one possession at a time. I just keep screaming that to them in the middle of the game. It's loud in there. Just one possession. Keep making winning plays.
First time I ever been down 20 twice and you know, got the win. But, you know, emotional win. Get our rest tomorrow. Right back at it on Saturday.
Yeah, man. That series right here has been definitely more entertaining than we thought. But, you know, shout out to the Grizzlies for coming back. This team was down by 20 plus 2 times in the same game.
Twice.
And came back twice. And still won.
This has been the most entertaining series of the playoffs thus far, in my opinion. I mean, to be down 25 plus points twice in the same game, and then you go on one of the craziest runs in NBA history and win the game. Insane. And just like the trash talking in this has to be like super elite, bro. Super elite trash talking right here.
Yeah,
you can Pat Bears in here doing the too small gesture Then you got Ja Morant, who already told you they want all the smoke.
All of it.
And they clearly can take all the smoke if they want to. So
yeah, that could be like a fly on a wall or just have a headset so I can hear everything they're saying. Like, because Ja is not holding back in these post game.
Oh no!
In these sound bites, he is not holding back whatsoever, man. It's something to hear because you don't hear players doing this often. Like,
man, I love this young Grizzlies squad. They just exude confidence from 1 through 15 of all the players, coaches, everyone. They just bring that energy every single night, man. And Minnesota came in and got that one win, but I think it's Memphis' series to lose at this point.
Yeah, and that was a question: is the series over now for the Timberwolves?
I think that they may win another game, make it competitive, but it's Memphis' series. I think we both picked them.
Yeah, we did.
But I think I said 7 games, but now I'm like, I like the Timberwolves and I like Anthony Edwards. I just wish Karl Anthony Towns to me is just.
Yeah, let's talk about that, man.
Oh,
if I'm, I want to make sure I'm right. He only took like 6 shots, right? In the entire game.
If that, yes.
I believe it was like 4 or 6. If you're Karl Anthony Towns, you can't do that. You can't do that. I just want to make sure I'm right because I don't want to give people wrong information here. All right.
Right.
I was wrong. I gave y'all wrong information. This man took 4 shots.
Oh.
I gave him 2 more for some reason. 3 or 4. I will say this though, a lot of it was foul trouble. And some of it, a little bit. I think there was one that was kind of ticky-tack. It could have went either way. But some of them, you should know this by now. And that's what people get on about that. Like, you're so many years in the league right now. I believe it's like 7 years. You know now you should adjust your game to how the refs are calling it.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to get yourself out of the game. And if I'm the Timberwolves, I go up on the Grizzlies by 20-something. Twice. It was like a game of runs. First quarter, Memphis, not Memphis, but Minnesota. Third quarter, Minnesota. Fourth quarter, the Grizzlies come back and win. If you're Minnesota, you gotta shut the door, man. You gotta close it. That was really disappointing to see how this team came back. I mean, the Grizzlies show their grit. Like, they're resilient. They can come back on you.
Absolutely.
And they also show me that they really are kind of a high-powered offense. And Desmond Bane, boy, man, balling, a shooter, my friend. He is a sniper.
Absolutely, man.
So the Grizzlies, shout out to Taylor Jenkins, head coach. Got these boys playing hard, and Memphis is out here.
Oh yeah,
I definitely think Memphis will win the series, and the fact they can use this to carry them to the next couple games. Like, hey, we were down to y'all by 20 twice. We probably should have lost to y'all, but we came back.
You got to think about it, man. This is a team last year that barely made the playoffs. I think they were in the play-in against the Warriors. They put them out, or maybe the year before. But
you're right. It was a play-in with the Warriors.
They went from play-in to second in the West.
Mm-hmm.
So these dudes aren't a joke. And it really shows when you look at this series that, or at least this last game alone, the playoffs are a different beast. And if you don't put your foot on the gas, if you let up for 1 second, you're going to get exposed. And that's what happens in Minnesota. These dudes go up 25, go up 26, whatever. They're up. You're almost up 30 points. Twice. And you simply let your foot off the gas because you're excited to be there and you're not on the mission. Memphis is on the mission. They want to prove to the world, really. They already know themselves what they believe they can do. They're trying to show the world we are for real. Minnesota, they're happy to finally be back in the playoffs after, the last time was Jimmy Butler and Cat, and that still didn't work out. But now, like you said, Karl Towns, if this is your franchise, you got to be smarter, you got to play harder, and you got to get more than 4 shots. You got to make more than 4 shots.
Don't have to do more than 4 shots.
And my thing with Cat is that I know he's great. I know he can shoot. I know he's all around big man, right? But the way that Minnesota plays and utilizes him is so weird to me because he's the biggest dude on the court a lot of the time, and he's never. And I get it. Everyone plays 5 out. Everyone wants to space the floor, whatever. But if I'm Karl Towns, if I'm Minnesota, what good is it doing me when I'm 7 feet? I'm not. They're playing me face up. I'm basically posting up at the top of the key at the 3-point line. I'm taking the ball. I'm trying to bang and get to the rim. Why don't you go to the block, get an easier, closer look? And when they do double team you, because you're that good in the post, you make the play because you know how to pass out of a double team. But no, they utilize him. They put him on the top of the key. And if he's not coming off a screen or in the pick and roll, pick and pop, he's taking up space at the top of the key. And you're already limiting your offense by having him just sit there and bang at the top of the key and you try to make something happen. He's good, but he's not that type of player. And I feel like if they would just utilize him a little bit differently, he could probably get more than 4 shots. And then 2, he could probably score more because that's what they need. You can't really post Steven Adams, one of the strongest dudes in the league, right? But at least stop trying to take these dudes off the 3-point line, especially when they put smaller dudes on you. I just feel like they aren't playing smart, in my opinion.
You know that whole argument you just did for Cat, I could say the same thing about Joel Embiid. It's similar. I don't know if it's just so much as coaching because Philly has Doc Rivers, but even Embiid doesn't. He's doing a little bit more this year, but he has a tendency to do more face-ups and not get the ball on the block. I feel like it's just the way the game is going right now. And it also shows you that a lot of that has to do with Cat himself, because he's a big time player to be like, hey, I'm on the block, give me the ball. If you want it bad enough, I think Shaq told different stories like this. I'm gonna get 3 seconds. You're gonna give me this ball, right? So Cat, I agree with you. He's definitely skilled enough to do more. And again, speaking of coaching, let me get on the coach. How do you not call a timeout with any of the runs? Once you see that lead get down to 10, I'm calling a timeout because clearly my team needs some type of guidance, a substitution, something.
You got to put the adrenaline back in your own team, man. And Memphis just came in, took all the momentum. And it's just man, I don't know, Pat Bev, his antics, his energy, he's been in the playoffs. He knows how this goes. But that just doesn't transfer to everyone. And that's his poor defense to be up that much and let them come all the way back. 50-16 run to close the game. 50-16. Like, bro, what? That is insane. That's insane. And it just shows like these another situation of different tiers, man. But Minnesota just and to your point real quick, Joel Embiid does face up. And he does take threes. He does like be at the top of the key.
He does.
But I'm just gonna say this. Joel Embiid is Karl-Anthony Towns is not Joel Embiid.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry.
No. I wasn't trying to say that now. I wasn't trying to say that.
Man,
he ain't that.
That's a big difference. What Joel can do, he's more efficient to me, and he can just put it in the hoop. Like he can shoot it a little bit better. Well, I'm not gonna say he can shoot a little bit better, but he takes.
I mean, he was 3-point champion.
Cat is a great shooter, as he says, the greatest big man shooter. But I'm not saying that. But Joel is just different, and it's hard to explain. But there are similarities in their games. But Joel is just different in the way he's able to get to move. I guess I don't know. I feel like Cat is so. I can't really put it into words, man, but when you see them, they may do the same thing, but Joel is just a little bit more efficient in how he does it. I can't really explain how, but I just wish they would do something else with him, because the way they're utilizing him, he's not gonna get that many shots, and he's gonna have to make difficult shots or create his own difficult shot, which is not what you want.
Right.
When you have
a
7-footer who's as talented as he is.
Right. And,
but that's just me.
Yeah, and to your point, that's the difference. Joel Embiid has a higher chance of making those difficult shots than Karl-Anthony Towns. At least in this moment, for sure. So, yeah. Grizzlies right now, I feel like they have the heart, and they just snatched it right from the Wolves. Because if you're the Wolves, how do you think about yourselves after having this lead by 20 plus twice and lose it?
You got to fight.
Yeah. They hopefully they show us something else. I would love for this to be a 7-game series, just for the trash talk and just for the back and forth, but it is in danger of being over. Honestly, it really is, and especially if Memphis wins this next one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I will say for Minnesota, D'Angelo Russell seems to be getting better each game, in my opinion. I like what he's been doing. He looks good, looks confident.
Yeah.
But in the end, Memphis is super talented. They play as a group. Ja Morant obviously is the engine, and he's going to take them as far as they can go. But him and Bane and what's the guy off the bench? I can't think of his name, but he's a big Clark.
Yeah, Clark went off.
Great energy player. Like, those dudes they just play hard.
Yeah.
Minnesota has to match that to have a chance. So
yeah, they do. Yeah. So again, good luck to the Wolves. I always wish luck to these NBA teams. But hey, if they lose a series, they still made some progression. You know, as that highlight video say, it's like the first time back in the playoffs, and for the thing being this packed since what? Yeah. KG. I know it's been a long time.
Yeah, Minnesota
a long time.
Best playoff runs.
Yeah. So yeah. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna take a little break here, pause here. When we come back, we're gonna resume talking about the playoffs, get into the all-arounds in the East, and also react to some NBA award winners. And we also give you our pick for who we think is the best player in the playoffs so far, or the best performer in the playoffs so far. So don't want to miss it, y'all. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
See y'all in a second.
leading by 1.
Celtics have a timeout, decide not to use it here. Jaylen Brown kicks it out. Smart fakes.
It is game 1 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals and the most anticipated series of the league's opening round. It's the Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets.
The atmosphere is going to be unreal. I've been in Boston a long time. I don't think I've had more ticket requests in my life than this particular series.
We have Boston. You know, I know that team very well, and they know us very well. It's another challenge for us, another test, and once you throw that ball in the air, you're going to really see some spectacular basketball, and I'm just looking forward to it.
Today's day 1. At the start of our playoff journey.
Hey, give your absolute best every possession, every time you step out on that floor. Let it all hang out. It's the playoffs. Let's get it. Together on the 3. 1, 2, 3. Together.
Embrace everything, fellas.
Let's go!
Don't take this for granted. Detail.
The TD Garden has become a hostile place for Kyrie Irving, leaving after 2 years.
I promise you the Nets and Kyrie know what's in store for them in this series with all the noise that's going to be heading their way.
Listen up. I need everything from everybody. Every possession matters. All we can ask is play as hard as we can, through adversity, through up and down. Play to your potential. Let's do it as a team, together.
Moves it out top for Curry. Steps left, step back, 3 on the way. Good for Seth Curry. Tatum lobs it Brown. Horford and 2-hand slam.
It's just a really physical start. You can almost feel the adrenaline of the players.
That's a great defensive effort.
I really love the intensity of this ball game. This is playoff basketball by both teams.
Irving runs up and knocks down the 3-pointer. Tatum against Claxton. Scoop layup is good. He's come alive. 11 points here in the second quarter. Ending a wild first half that had 17 lead changes, but finishes all tied up.
Let's go, fellas.
Tatum moving to his left, chased by Durant. Here's a step back. Tough 19-footer is good. They throw away the inbound. Flies in. Left hand slam.
Keep throwing punches, fellas. Keep throwing punches.
Smart for 3. Another one. His third 3-pointer.
And the Celtics now lead by 15 midway through the third.
It's going to take a lot, but we can do it. We can do it. Come on now.
Out of the left wing, Irving. Shot clock down to 5. Kyrie in the corner with 3. Launches a fadeaway, and it's good!
Irving, 3-pointer. That's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown, and it's back to 6.
We're right there. We're right there, all right? So just stay poised, stay aggressive. 50-50 balls, rebounds, we'll be fine.
White drives on Irving. Irving with another steal. Picked up by Claxton. Kyrie Irving with some excellent defense. That's actually his 5th steal of the afternoon. Puts up a 3. Puts it in. Kyrie Irving from downtown. It's a 3-point game. Irving drives on Tatum. Gets inside. Blows past and lays it in. And the Nets coming back from 15 down here in the second half.
Yes, yes. Yes, that's what it takes. That's the effort.
Minute 48 begins where minute 1 began. In a tie game, we're even at 111.
Kyrie on the left side behind the arc with 8 to shoot. Kyrie.
Why are you tripping out?
Yo!
Oh.
Yo! Man, I got a lot to say. Hey, yo, man, what's going on, man?
No.
What's going on, bro?
No sleep in Brooklyn, bro. No.
All right, let me get straight, bro. All right, so.
Okay.
So as you know, the Celtics are going against the Nets in the first round matchup. All right. So Boston were playing some really surprisingly great defense on Kevin Durant and the Nets. These in the first 2 games. Game was 1 of games 2. But in the back of everyone's head, everybody assumed that the Nets would get it together, and more particularly KD.
Whew.
Boy, really wrong. I was also thinking maybe the refs were like, call more and like, because they're pretty physical in Boston, but wrong.
Oh dear.
Wrong. We thinking Kyrie may go off again. Wrong. KD will get together, pass out double teams. He passed out a little bit, but still got some turnovers. Wrong about that. Thought some role players would step up. Wrong about that. I mean, well, I go back. I was wrong. Hold on. Let me go back. Bruce Brown. Shout out to you. You did step up. I take that last statement back. He stepped up. All right. I think he'll get 25, though. But he got 25. He still lose. The Nets, the Celtics, man. You go first, man. I got a lot to say. You go first, man.
I am at a loss for words. I can't believe KD had the most uncharacteristic playoff series I've ever seen. There's no way. I just can't believe Boston shut this man down, held him to 16 in the playoffs. 6 of 11 tonight. Oh my God. We were recording the show earlier and I was just like, this is not happening. This is not happening. Like Jaylen Brown, and shout out to these dudes. First of all, shout out to Boston, because these dudes came in and handled business. They didn't get stuck on the hype with KD and Kyrie. They didn't care about that. They was like, we're gonna hoop. We're gonna take care of business, and we're gonna get deep into these series, into these playoffs. And they handle business. Like this is everyone knows this is over. And I'm just so shocked that it went this way. I wasn't doubting that Boston could win, because I think we both said Brooklyn, but in 7. So we knew it was gonna be competitive, but this is completely opposite of what I was thinking was gonna happen. Like they came into Brooklyn, into their house, to Barclays, and just like balled out on these dudes, bro. I can't believe it. Kyrie, 16, 6 of whatever shooting, just horrible. When you got Bruce Brown scoring 25, and no, that's no slight to Bruce Brown at all, because he's a good player. These dudes, I can't believe it. I don't know if I'm not shocked by Boston being, good and winning, but I'm just shocked that KD, Kyrie had such bad games, and now it's 3-0. Like, this is insane. Take the floor, man. This is insane.
Where do I start, man? Where do I start? There's so much to say.
Terrible.
So much to say, man. So much to say. All right. First of all, I'm gonna say KD for last. Steve Nash, sir. I know this is your technically this is his second year coaching, but he's such an offensive mind. I would think he can find some ways to get Kevin Durant better looks.
You would think so. Huh?
I would think so, but I guess not. Shout out to Ime Udoka, man. The Boston Celtics are legit. They are here.
They are legit.
They're ready. But Steve Nash is just disappointed with you with that, sir. I was expecting better. I was expecting for you to find somebody to get KD going, and you have KD and Kyrie. One of the first things I would do, you see Boston is getting you on the pick and roll, like utilize what some of what they're doing. All right, have Kyrie. I want to see more Kyrie and KD pick and rolls. All right, try to exploit that somehow, but I haven't seen much of that. But come on, show me something. So that's Steve Nash. Show me a little bit better. Kyrie. You went off game one. Went off. Well, if you have a spectacular game one, you gotta follow it up with. Can't follow it up with a dud in game two, and especially now you're at home in the game you need to win. Don't show up. Last but not least, Kevin Durant. I loved you in OKC, sir.
You better let
you left us to join the Golden State Warriors, which is a team that beat us in the Game 7. In a 7-game series. We are tied to it emotionally. We are invested into it as fans. But you up and leave and join the team that beat us. You got your 2 rings. You got your 2 finals MVPs. Well deserved, by the way, KD. Well deserved. But you wanted to change the narrative about you. Prove that you can win a team by yourself as a franchise player that you are. And the superstar that you are. But as you can see, it's hard to do it by yourself. It's hard. It's hard to do it without 2 of the best shooters on your team, isn't it? It's hard to do it without a former MVP like Steph Curry. Former 2-time MVP in Steph Curry. It's hard to do it with a great coach like Steve Kerr. You left that great environment to join the Brooklyn Nets in the hopes of capturing a championship. You have the talent on your team. Role players are good. No excuses there. You got another superstar team in Kyrie. No excuses there. Kevin Durant is not showing up in this series.
It's
KD,
over.
A lot of people say you're the best player in the world. And you are, in my opinion, one of the best. You're not showing up. You're not showing up. I don't want to say I told you so. But as a Thunder fan,
you're happy right now?
I ain't gonna lie, say I don't feel all right right now. I'm okay right now. I'm okay with you losing. I didn't think you'd get swept though. I think it's a sweep at this point. You left the court so fast, KD. After this game was over, he was gone.
I mean,
the next players were gone after the game was over. I ain't see no handshake. I ain't see the camera didn't get a good chance to catch you before you left. You were gone in the blink of an eye. The camera couldn't even catch you. So, KD, I hope he turns it around as a basketball fan. But this is tough to see. This has to let me question your former success. Like you definitely deserve the Finals MVPs. But now I'm thinking it's gonna definitely change something about KD. At least it'll change the narrative about him being the best player in the world.
In this series, he did not display that at all. He struggled in all 3 of these games so far. And
man,
I never would have thought, not only would they lose and go down 3-0, but KD seems to be struggling, man. Credit to Boston for having a great defensive plan against them, and Tatum for these possessions. I saw him stepping up, just playing him hard. But this is not something I expected to see. If they lost, I was gonna say I would think it's not gonna be because of KD, because KD is KD. He's best player in the world, and now people are gonna obviously, like you said, his credibility is gonna be like, oh, you lost to Boston, you struggled, you couldn't get more than 16, you shot horribly from the floor, and it's like
turnovers.
Couldn't
got 5 tonight.
I think it's more so of not that they lost, but they lost in the way that they lost with how KD struggled. This is not something I expected. If anything, I could see Boston winning games or even winning the series, but to see them just shut KD down, it's like, what just happened? Like, my brain's still like, KD couldn't hit jump shots over anyone, and he's KD. I don't know, man. Celtics are. Shout out to the Celtics, man. Shout out to them for handling business tonight, for sure.
Shout out to the Celtics, man. But to answer the question, what's going on with the Nets? I don't know.
They have nothing going on.
Good answer there too. Good answer.
It's over.
It's over. It is over. Did you call it a sweep?
The way they are playing, they don't have defense already. And if KD and Kyrie both have an off night, yeah. I at this point, the way this is, they might come out and try to play hard and, not get swept.
It should have been this game.
It should have been, but this just...
And they left the floor dejected. Like, I think it's a sweep. I was hoping this would be a 7-game series. We both thought it would be a 7-game series. I went with Boston because I thought their defense. And I thought they were a better team overall. Looks like I'm right. But I ain't want to sweep. I wanted a competitive series. The Grizzlies and the Timberwolves should not be a more exciting series than this. This should be one of the best series in the playoffs. But I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
KD and Kyrie.
Yeah, Stoner said hated for Kyrie. Man, Kyrie balled out that first game, and he just went downhill. I don't know if Smart and Brown and all these guys just bothered him a lot, or I don't know what I don't know what went wrong with them. Besides, they can't play defense, which is part of the problem. And then, those two got locked down. The rotation isn't that great. Like, I like Goran Dragic, respectfully,
Yeah.
I like Bruce Brown. Mills. Seth Curry hasn't really been up to par with this team. I think he's dealing with some injury stuff, but it's just like, dang, like they don't have anything if those two aren't going. And we just saw Boston smack them around in their own house. So I think it's like shameful that they lost this way, and that KD and Kyrie got locked up and couldn't really do anything about it. That's what I think is just like, I can't wrap my mind around, is that these dudes got locked up. Like, two of the best offensive players we've probably ever seen in our time watching basketball, and it's like, I just can't believe it. But shout out to Boston. Shout out to the C's, man. They handle business.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Boston, man. But yeah, this series is definitely over. And if they get swept, I'm gonna have a lot more to say about the Nets. They all better not get swept. That's all I gotta say. They better not get swept. Steve Nash go in the lab.
You're respectful, bro.
How to do it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least get gentlemen swept. Like, don't get a sweep. This sweeps are embarrassing, especially for a championship caliber team.
Especially
with
when
championship
it's
expectations
on a team. You two of the best in the game right here, and
right.
We should have recorded our reactions as we watched like the last 5 minutes of that game.
Yo, I was like, what?
Yo, what?
Man, I can't believe this, man.
I can't either.
Dang, KD. I hate this for KD too, though, man. Like, this is terrible.
No, tell the truth. You're happy for this.
No, hold on. I was serious. I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. But like I like KD, so that's why I kind of, because he's been reacting to it the right way in the press conferences. I gotta see how he's reacting to it today and tonight. I gotta see what they say. But like, so he's been saying all the right things, and talking about how it's on him and how he's trying to get better and he's gonna get it right, and it's just, man. But yeah, more praise to Boston though. I feel like we should give Boston some more praise, man. Jason Tatum, call him an official two-way player now. He's an official two-way player right now, man. He to guard KD like that, he's blocked his shot multiple times. And KD's out to be a player that your shot can't really get blocked by him because he's so tall and that long wingspan. So, but Jason Tatum, that's been challenging, Jaylen Brown, man, coming out offensively, improving his game and showing out and balling. Marcus Smart showing us what he can do a little bit on offensive end, and we saw in that clip too, that key pass he made too, like in game 1. Like, this team is different. This team is so well put together, and I love the Celtics right now. I love what they're doing.
Play good defense.
Yeah. Speaking of Marcus Smart, let's go on and get to him as well, man. So as they announced several award winners in the past couple weeks, and one of them was Defensive Player of the Year. So, and as you know, we made our predictions. I went with Giannis.
Yeah.
And I believe you went with Bam. And we were both wrong. It was Marcus Smart. So shout out to Marcus Smart, man. He's showing it in this series that he's well deserving of it. Gary Payton came out and surprised him with the award and then the announcement of the award. It's cool to see that. The first guard since Gary Payton to win the award. So yeah, thoughts on Marcus Smart?
Congrats to Marcus Smart, man. That's pretty big. You don't really see, at least in this time and age, guards winning Defensive Player of the Year, and rightfully so. You're guarding Kyrie and all these talented perimeter players these days, So
right,
to go out there and compete and shut these guys down is hard. So well deserved. I know he's always been praised for his defense, for the past few seasons now. So he's always been a solid defensive guy. Shout out to him. Me personally, I would have been more open to Bam winning, but still, I think Marcus Smart deserved it for sure.
Yeah, I did not hate that Marcus Smart won. It was well deserved. I was like, after he won, he needs to show up tonight it was another game too against Kyrie, and he showed up. Showed up tonight in Game 3 as well. So he's well deserved. He's proven that he deserved that award and he deserved to win. So the award, the voters got that one right, especially by how he's playing. So no complaints there. So, and again, as far as this series goes, yeah, it's a wrap. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
it's a wrap. And if they do end it, we don't have to talk about what they can do in the offseason, because it only raises questions about what they can do. Kyrie has a player option.
KD has another year.
KD's already signed his extension. He's already in. But it's not like he has superstar power to do whatever situation he wants to, obviously. But the thing is, Kyrie and KD got there together. I believe Kyrie will accept the option and keep playing. If he's smart, he will accept the option and get the money. And then again, he could decline it and still get his money somewhere. So I don't know. This is just a bad overall situation. And,
yeah.
And even if Ben Simmons was playing, I don't think it would have been a factor. Like,
he's supposed to be coming back for Game 4, but hey,
man, no.
Just hang it up,
man. Just come back next season. At this point, I don't see him being that much of a factor.
I mean, if he would have been available earlier or sooner or at all, that probably would have helped him out a good bit. But at this point, it's like, yeah, you just go ahead and, adopt the Ben Street clothes Simmons, as Charles Barkley would say, and hang it up, come back next year.
Yeah,
try it again then.
Try next year. So yeah.
Disappointing.
This is definitely disappointing, man. We were so shocked to see that result, man. Wow. I am looking forward to seeing what all the NBA fans have to say about this game. So, let's keep the ball rolling, though, man. Let's continue talking about some of these series in the East. Those you joined in, we talked about the West and their series so far. Now we're on the East.
East Coast.
Yep, East Coast. We just finished talking about the Celtics and the Nets. Let's get into another team. Preferably your team.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep. I want to let you go first as well, sir. As you know.
Oh, man.
The Heat. His team, by the way. Going against the Hawks. Y'all shut down Trae Young that last game. He was cold. One of the worst playoff games I ever seen. But Trae Young bounced back in the big way. And they won. It was a tight game at the end, though. I give y'all props for that. But yeah, your reactions to your squad.
I personally predicted that we would drop one game. So I figured it had to be at some point. It was just kind of disappointing that it came in this game where we were battling pretty hard, went to Atlanta and for the most part had the game under control. But you have to close, man. It's not about how you start, but how you finish, man, and close the deal. So at the end, Trae is going to, try to make a play. He's going to try to, get his floater off, and that he did.
Yep.
I just wish that, I feel like we played fairly well. Tyler Hero had a great game. Jimmy looked great. We just kind of dropped the ball at the very last second. I'm not mad at that, though. It's like, you want, as a fan, you want to win as a competitor, you just want to win every game, especially when you're like, that close, we would have went up 3-0. I was like, this would have been great. But that's fine. We'll get them back in Miami and just get refocused and do what we did the first 2 games. Just shut Trey down, make these other guys beat you, if anything. So I'm not really worried about the series at all. I just wish we would have got that one. We just have to close, and that's something that going, throughout the season, where we drop games sometimes is like the very last second where we, missed an assignment here, or we can't really find a good shot at the end. And I feel like we just needed to stop. And unfortunately, Trey's bucket came at the wrong time.
Yeah, it was tough. And I forgot Jimmy was down for a little bit, but he was fine. He came back, so that's good. The question is, do the Hawks have a chance to win the series? I know you, of course, think no. I would love to try to play, as people say, like the opposite or the devil's advocate or whatever people say. I don't know how we got that phrase, but anyway, I can't really debate the opposite side, really. I think the Heat, you guys have, your defense is so much well put together. And you're right about giving Trey 1. This is a series I thought would be a sweep. Y'all let me down. The team let me down, man. I was hoping for a sweep for this one too, but nope. Looks like they got one, so I think it'll be a gentleman's sweep at least. So yeah.
But I'm not using this as an excuse, but there was another factor in the beginning of the game. There was a huge delay.
Oh yeah, good point. I don't know, man.
But it still doesn't matter. We should have closed that game. But it was just another weird thing that happened.
That was one of the weirdest things to come out of the playoffs so far, man. So if y'all don't know, there was a suspicious looking package in front of the arena outside of the Hawks Stadium. Mm-hmm. And they had to spend at least a 30-minute delay. It felt more than 30 minutes though. I feel like it was almost an hour.
It was more like an hour.
Yeah, they announced it to be 30-minute delay, but it was actually more like an hour to check it out and make sure everything was straight. So my first reaction was like, man, had it happen in Atlanta. But man, I was like, man, this is crazy. But yeah, I don't think that's a valid excuse. Just give the Hawks their credit. They got one. Give Trae Young his credit. He bounced back after a terrible game. So yeah, shout out to the Hawks, but I don't think they can win the series. Still, that has changed my mind about that. I don't think they really have a chance to win the series. Not really. I don't really give them a puncher's chance, really. Now, if they win another game and tie the series up, you're probably in trouble. You're probably in trouble. We'll get into that though.
This game tomorrow is very important because it's going to be a turning point regardless of if we win or lose. It's got to be all in and focused right here, right now. Take it back to the house, back to South Beach. Close it out. We got business to handle, so.
All right, let's take a pause here real quick, then we'll come back.
See you in a second.
All right, thank y'all for the wait, a little technical difficulty, a little bit, but yeah, we just got through talking about the Hawks and the Heat. We both believe the Heat will win the series either way. So yeah. So we are also gonna go ahead and continue with our Eastern round. So the next team we'll talk about the next series. Get an update on is the Bucks and the Bulls. All right. Oof. So the Bucks were actually able to win without Chris Middleton. He was hurt.
I didn't win without Chris Middleton.
Yeah. But hey, the question is, can the Bulls come back in the series at all?
Maybe. I say they can maybe win a game. Come back in the series.
I know it's kind of like a tough ask, for sure.
What is it right now with them? 2-1? No,
it's
wait.
2. It's
2-1.
Let me see real quick.
They played twice in Milwaukee. They split there, and then Milwaukee just won in Chicago. I think.
Yeah, it's 2-1.
Can Chicago win one more? I hope, because I want it better for them. But Milwaukee's gonna ultimately take the series, and I just hope that. I don't know. I feel like here's my problem with Chicago. Zach LaVine, to me, has not been Zach LaVine all-star, aggressive, go out and get it. DeMar DeRozan can only do so much on his own, and they had success throughout the regular season, but it just seems that I don't know if Zach is tired or banged up or whatever, but it just seems like he's not aggressive enough to me. Also, they're missing Lonzo Ball.
That's true.
Which is a huge loss for them because he was great, being able to find those guys, make it easier for them to get shots, and coming down and guard. He could have been a great matchup with Drew Holiday. And yeah, Caruso is great as well, but it's just not enough to. He's not enough to create shots for those guys. He's not to me, a true point guard, even though he can play it, but he's a defensive guy more so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Milwaukee I mean, I don't think Chicago can undo their fate at this point.
Yeah.
And with Milwaukee, I didn't expect them to really suffer a lot with Chris Middleton not playing, but the way they played and won without him is more impressive. So
yeah, the fact that it was like a blowout win. Really, you think Chicago would have been a little bit more competitive with Chris Middleton out, who was an all-star, who was one of their key players, one of their key core players on that squad, but to still lose in such a fashion at home is it says a lot. It says
the biggest loss in Chicago playoff history.
Good point. It really was. It's terrible. My mind goes back to DeMar DeRozan. He has to play better. Even if they don't win the series, I need him to show out. Just so he can do his part. Like, y'all, I did my best. And then no one would be out to get him, quote unquote, really. Because he did his part. And, like, there's nothing you can do. But honestly, I think this series could be a little bit more competitive, especially with Chris Middleton out. You got Xzequtive. You got on Xzequtive a little bit. So, yeah, I agree with you about his play. Even though they were out Lonzo Ball, and Lonzo really does fill some holes that we're seeing with this team right now as far as playmaking and getting their shots created for him. I just need DeMar to step up, and if he can step up and be a dominant player in this series, even if they lose, I believe the narrative will fully and officially change about DeMar DeRozan. Because it already sucks that the Bulls kind of fell off after the All-Star break, because DeMar was actually in the MVP conversation.
Yeah,
but then the drop off. Then this playoff performance is not helping. We're a league where it's a "what have you done for me lately" type of league. And if the last thing that we remember is you in the playoffs not showing up, we're gonna forget the regular season that you had. It'll be just like, oh, DeMar again, not showing up in the playoffs. Got bounced out in the first round. So I really hope the narrative can change about him, because if it does, it'll make basketball just even that more interesting, especially in Chicago, which is one of the hallmarks of the franchises there in the NBA. Can you imagine Chicago is being talked about more often, and is actually a contender, and it'll be so much better. So, but anyway. Yeah, I don't think they can actually come back, though. The only way they can come back, in my opinion, is like you said, if Zach plays up to his potential that we know he can, like that all-star potential, and DeMar DeRozan shows out, then they have a chance, especially with Chris Middleton not playing.
For them to win, both of those guys have to give you
at least 30.
Efficient 30 plus.
At least 30.
Thing. Because Giannis is going to come with it.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday's going to check you, and he's physical, he's tough, he's a great defender.
Mm-hmm.
And Lopez, they got length inside, but it's really hard to. Vucevic has to show up and be effective. He's got to be some sort of line of defense, which is not his strong suit. But I agree with you. I think I personally love DeMar DeRozan's game. He's one of those guys that still shoots mid-range jumpers. He's tough. He has a post fade. All of that. I love his package.
Yeah.
As far as his offensive game and stuff, but I think the narrative is just kind of he can't win in the playoffs. And against Milwaukee, I don't see that happening. But just go out there and compete.
Yeah. At least.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see. Shout out to Bulls and them Bucks. Shout out to them. And last series in the East that we're covering is the Sixers and the Raptors. So this one is a little different as well. So in the pre-show, as things were standing, Philly was in prime position to complete a sweep.
Yeah.
But the Raptors came back and actually won. So with that being said, this is going to be removed. Congrats to the Raptors. I thought that was going to be a sweep. I called it a sweep. But they proved me wrong. This is definitely a game I thought was going to be a sweep very quickly. But they came back.
Yeah.
Make them got one.
Yep.
Now, I still think the series is over. Because the fact that Joel was still able to play through the injury, like, yeah, this is fine. They're going to be fine. But I will say this, though. James Harden.
Yeah. Funny you should say that.
James Harden, man. He is not the James Harden that we know. I mean, today he shot 5 for 17. 2 for 8 from 3. He got the free throw line a little bit more this time. He got 10 out of 11, but this is not the James Harden we're accustomed to seeing. And we haven't really seen this James Harden since, I think Philly wants a version of James Harden from when he was with Houston. Because since it's two people now compared to 3.
James Harden do.
You remember what James Harden used to do. Now, I will say this. The rules did change. Remember? They stopped calling that those fouls that Harden used to get all the time. It was like Harden, Steph, even Trae Young was getting it at some point. But they changed it, which I'm glad about. And I think that could have some effect on this game. Maybe. But we're still not seeing like the James Harden. He's not finishing like we know we'll see James Harden finish. He's not shooting as great as we know James Harden could shoot. So if James Harden is not going to be James Harden, their championship window is closing for sure. Especially with the injury to Joel Embiid.
Terrible.
You gotta end this series quickly. There's even more reason to end the series quickly. So you can start healing your bodies, get healthier, and prepare for the next series. So yeah, they gotta go ahead and end this series quick. Not just because I want to see a sweep, which I'm not now, but just because you want to get healthier. So
I did say
you did.
Toronto was gonna get one.
You did. I give you that.
And the fact that they did it this way is what I mean about the playoffs. Is you get all right. Everyone knows historically, no one has ever come back from down 3-0.
Right.
But one more game to win, right? It's just one more, and you gotta like worry about it. You're gonna get it. It's whatever. It's yours in the bag, and that's what teams mess up at. You take a break. You don't play as hard because you're like, oh, we got it. We already up this much. We already have 3 games in the series. You just got to get this last one. And boom, instead of like taking care of business, having a break, letting your best player, recover from their injury, now you got to go back home, play an extra game when you should have been done with this. Fred VanVleet got hurt. So that's another one of their key players that was out early in the game. They still couldn't shut it down. Joel Embiid seemed to not be affected as much by his injury. It's a thumb injury, I believe, and they hadn't really confirmed if he's torn ligaments or whatever. But
yeah,
that's going to be concerning, especially now you got to play this extra game when you could have been resting. And you hit the nail on the head with the Harden issue. I don't think they need him to score 30 points a game like he did, in Houston. I don't think that they need him to do that. But it's just been hard to watch him play these past few weeks. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't want to say he's on the decline, but he just doesn't look like the same player anymore. He looks he can't really. His athleticism seems to be depleting, for lack of better words. He's not efficient. He seems like it's harder for him to get off his step back three, and I feel like dudes probably have kind of picked up on it, for one, and then two, his shot just doesn't look good to me anymore. If you look at the mechanics of his shot, and like years ago, the step back compared to now, he barely gets any separation. When he lifts up, his shot just looks weirdly contorted. It doesn't even look smooth. It looks strange to me. And he barely can get to the rim. He's barely compared to his usual, what we were used to during his Houston days, barely gets to the line. So it's like, man, what is going on with him? And I don't think they need him to score like that. But if Joel is hurt or needs extra help, he's got to step up, right? And then two, be efficient, regardless of if you're scoring 20 or 5. Be efficient in it, because if you're taking that many shots and not hitting, and no one else is hitting, what do we have you here for? If you can't facilitate and get guys open, you can't get Joel good looks. You and Maxey, who's been a blessing to them. They have a good team, but it's just kind of like they can only go so far as long as Embiid is healthy, and two, James Harden provides substantial backup at the least. I mean,
yeah.
But it's really, to me, disappointing to see how Harden is like. I'm like I said, I don't think I'm not gonna say he's on his decline, but he just, I don't know, has to do something different, because I don't like what he's doing right now. Because I like James Harden. I think he potentially was, lining up to be one of the best two guards in the game, but he also is on the NBA 75 list. And right now, I'm like, man, I don't know, you gotta do something different. So
yeah,
but Philly should close it in Game 5 back at home.
They should. I expect them to. And shout out to Pascal Siakam too.
Oh yeah.
Huge game. And I was wondering what happened to him.
Oh yeah.
So I take that back. If he shows up again like that, that'd be great. And not backing down to Joel Embiid, because he's not backing down to him either. So that's good. And that's good. So
he plays with a lot of toughness, man. I like his
definitely tough.
He's gonna go at it. Anunoby too. I like him a lot.
Me too. Me too.
He's improved a whole lot on offense.
Yeah, he's definitely a valuable two-way wing for sure. And they can make it. They can potentially make it more competitive. But it depends on how Joel Embiid plays through that injury. Because again, it is a right thumb. So, and if James Harden doesn't, I don't know. It's hard for me to. It's like the facts are the facts now. James Harden is not who he is right now, and Tyrese Maxey has been, like you said, a huge blessing for him. Like he could potentially be that number 2 scorer for you. James Harden all he has to do is just facilitate. Tyrese, like he can literally be like the second scorer. He can be the 2 guy for sure.
I think he really is like lined up to be that already.
I think he can be.
And then you add in Tobias Harris, who kind of has not like I don't think his game has really dropped off, but because you have Noel, you got Maxey who's rising, you got Harden who's gonna get a lot of touches. It's kind of like, dang, well now he doesn't get as many, but I think he can be pretty solid when it comes to like offensive possessions.
I think he can.
And also another dude that kind of just for Philly that gets on my nerves sometimes is Danny Green. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I know how good he was,
Mm-hmm.
even like in his Lakers days and Spurs days especially, was great. But it's like, man, now it's like, all right, you're known for being a shooter, and I'm not saying I'm just a 50% 3-point shooter or anything like that, but it's like, man, I see you shooting, get more open threes, and it's like the more open you are, the more you miss. And I'm like, dude, you gotta hit these open corner threes. You are killing me. You going like 1 for 5, and you got like 3 of those that were open. Like, oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. So they'll be fine, but it's just the little things like that. Like, everyone has to do their part in order for this whole thing to work. If they want to get what they want to get to. So.
Yeah, they do, man. But yeah, we both agree Sixers should close out the series in Game 5. They should.
I think so.
Especially with the injuries, you can't play around. You can't play around now. So yeah, but how about that Embiid buzzer beater though? I know that's a game before, but man,
clutch.
It was definitely very clutch, man. Nice. Shout out to Joel Embiid. The last topic we wanted to get into, we talked about some award winners already. It was also announced today that, speaking of the Raptors, of course, Scotty Barnes, he is your Rookie of the Year this year. So shout out to Scotty.
Shout out to Scotty B.
No, I believe you went with Jalen Green. I thought that was a solid pick. A very solid pick. I believe I went with, well, I think I changed my answer to go with, no, I went with Evan Mobley.
I think you were talking about Mobley.
Yeah, I think I went with Mobley. But I think I agree with you about Jalen Green. And I think I went with Jalen Green at the end. But Scotty Barnes, Rookie of the Year. I mean, again, I'm not going to knock when people win these awards because it's well deserved for all these players. But yeah, your reaction.
I'm not mad at it. I'm pretty satisfied with it actually, because I like what Scotty Barnes does. I think I talked about it before with Jalen Green. To me, the Rookie of the Year is a player that stands out and really doesn't operate like a rookie, if you know what I mean. Yeah. If I look at Jalen Green and I'm like, this dude can, score 20 points per game already. If he really just had, another year, he would have been scoring 20 points per game already. I think he averaged 17, but
for sure.
Scotty, another dude, already, to me, impressive coming into the draft. He's got size, he can defend, he's I think he's 6'9". He's pretty savvy on both ends of the floor. And I think that he really fit with this team a lot, and he's a big part of their success, a big part of why they even made the playoffs. So I'm not really mad at this choice for Rookie of the Year, because he is a solid wing player that I feel like will be really, really great in years to come. I think that he fits that mold of, I'm a rookie, but I don't really look like, and I kind of operate like I've been here before. I'm a professional. And I don't think he just had flashy numbers, but his impact can't be denied. And he's got, a lot of potential. So I'm good with this choice for Rookie of the Year. So shout out to Scotty Barnes. Shout out to the Raptors. I think the Raptors will be really good next year too. I think they'll probably make some moves and get some pieces.
Yeah.
On Anunoby and Siakam and Barnes. They really have a lot of length when you think about it. They got all these 6'9", 6'10" dudes like Barnes, Siakam. They can that are two-way guys. Some of the league is kind of doing right now making all these big dudes kind of guards that can do multiple things. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they pick up in the draft as well. That'd be interesting to see. So yeah, shout out to the Raptors. Shout out to Scotty Barnes. Well deserved.
Yeah, sure.
No complaints from me. No complaints. And lastly, we talk about the NBA playoffs all this time. Let's think about some of our favorite performances we've seen so far, and who is the best player, or another way for this is who had the best performance in the playoffs so far, or who is the best player in the playoffs so far.
You want to go first or me?
You can go first.
I think I have I'm gonna go with someone who's probably not the obvious pick, in my opinion.
It's your opinion, so yeah, who you think?
I'm gonna shout out. I'm gonna say Jalen Brunson has been, like my favorite playoff performer thus far. Like this dude, in the absence of their star player in Luka Doncic, gave the Jazz 41-31, hitting big shots, taking it at Gobert, one of the premier defenders of the league. You know what I mean? Like, that is big time. Like, he, to me, has like put the league on notice that I am not just some random guard in Dallas. I can get to the basket, I can shoot it, I can score it, I can control this game. And I love what I'm seeing from Jalen Brunson. He's not by any means a popular player or anything from my perspective. And to see him just go out there and shine. He's a smaller guard too. I don't think he's maybe 6'2", maybe, but to see him ball the way he has, I'm impressed, and I'm hoping to see more of it.
Yeah, good pick. Don't deny that pick. But I gotta say, I'm gonna go with what we talked about today, just a few minutes ago. This is the coming out party for Jason Tatum, man. He is stepping up to another level, man, especially defensively. Yep. He has improved. He is showing us that he is a stylish defender. Like, he is literally blocking Kevin Durant's shots, guarding him one-on-one. And when we started to make predictions about that series, you were thinking, man, it's hard to stop KD one-on-one. That was your argument, now that I think about it. Yeah. But now, my argument was like they can do a team thing, and they have been, with the late contests and send someone late. But Jason Tatum, there was one play where he knew exactly where Kevin Durant was going to spin, and he beat him to the spot. So that just shows you how he's studying and just how he's improving as that player. So, like, man, Jason Tatum is like proving in front of our eyes right here, man. And how he went out tonight, man, this is so. Yeah, I gotta give my props to Jason Tatum, man, and to show up like that in the away game for you. So, yeah, that's my best player. But both of them are definitely standout performances, man. It's like this playoffs is just getting better and better, man. I'm loving this.
These young dudes taking over,
man. So,
yeah, I definitely can't disagree with that. Jason Tatum, we all know what a superstar talent he is on the offense, but to see him step up that way, man,
for sure,
it just says a lot about the type of player he's trying to become. So,
right, man.
So,
but y'all, appreciate y'all for joining us and rocking with us with this live stream. If there's something you missed, please feel free to go back and keep watching this video. We talked about the Western Conference. We just wrapped up the Eastern Conference. We talked about our best player and our favorite moments from the playoffs so far. And make sure to catch us every Saturday. We're going to be live every Saturday. And we're going to make sure we do better with the announcements on when, so you all can join us and talk hoops with us. So we appreciate y'all and thank y'all for being so patient with us and for keep rocking with us and for supporting us. We appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. We appreciate it. See y'all next Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday. Oh yeah. Also, please like, subscribe, share, all the yakety yak. Check out the podcast and all podcast platforms as well. Google Podcast, Spotify, all that stuff. So yeah. All right.
And another thing, I'm just playing. But yeah, do like, share, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Spotify, all podcast platforms.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, it's QtheGuru signing off.
Zay, the executive producer. See y'all next time.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning into the podcast, and thanks to our sponsor, SS96. Still rocking with us in 2022, and it's so amazing. We appreciate you. SS96 is putting out new merch and still has some of your favorites. Get your Xzequtive Productions t-shirts, Swish Masters t-shirts, as well as Farm Raised Entertainment t-shirts. Don't forget to check out Straight Stoners music as well as my own release under Xzequtive Productions. It's available on all streaming platforms and new music is in the works, so stay tuned. Go to ss96.net and use the promo code SwishMasters to get discounted merch today. Thank you all again. We're grateful.